Hey, welcome back to the Crash Space. My name is Andre. Thanks so much for tuning in. Today we're back with some new gameplay. We are playing Cyclops versus Mansion Attack, and specifically, this is one of Fantasy Flight Games' weekly one-shots. From my understanding, they've been doing this for a while, where on Instagram, as much as I saw this posted somewhere else, they'll be every week posting a challenge in which they kind of construct a custom scenario of sorts, in which they'll give you rules, guidelines, bonuses, malices, and it's up to you to figure out if you can beat the weekly one-shot. Today, we're playing Xavier's Final Exam is what it's called, and we have to play against Mansion Attack, which is the fourth scenario in the Mutant Genesis box, in which we have to fight off against a variety of different villains while protecting a variety of different main schemes. But the only rules that we were given is two rules. Firstly, we're allowed as many allies as we want. We have unlimited ally slots, which is going to be a big treat. However, the one downside is we cannot attack or thwart with our hero. So in short, we have all the allies, but the allies have to do all the work. Now, I thought that to be pretty interesting, but I also thought we'd take it one step further and do something that I've always wanted to do. Today, we're not playing Cyclops. In fact, this is a Scott Summers deck. We're going to be trying to do this entire scenario entirely in alter ego without showing the hero side of the card. Again, with all our allies, hopefully that's a possibility. The rule said specifically that you cannot attack or thwart, and if you go into hero mode, there's a whole bunch of ways to get around that. Strength and diversity technically isn't an attack or a thwart, as much as that might go around the vibe of the challenge, but instead, we're going to be spending all our time here in Scott Summers behind those big blue computer screens, controlling and guiding our favorite allies into the fight. With that being said, let's talk about the deck we built. It's a pretty weird one. We have unlimited ally slots, so that's cool. If you want to jump straight to gameplay, again, there are timestamps below. And if you like content like this, if you want to take a second to leave a like on the video, I promise you that helps a heck of a lot. With that, this is Scott Summers. We're not going to look at the hero side. It says we may include X-Men allies from any aspect in your deck. And we have a lot of X-Men allies. I think we have about 10, maybe 11 or so. Again, no limited ally slots will help for that. I also did go out of the way to only play X-Men allies. As much as this is a Justice deck, we could play Justice allies outside of the X-Men trait, but flavorfully this made more sense. We also have this ability, it's called Constant Training, which as an action in Alter Ego, we can search our deck for a tactic upgrade. Our deck has 6 tactic upgrades in Scott Summers' kit, and then we have a 7th upgrade we've added ourselves. I'll be honest, some of them don't do anything because they really care about being in hero mode, but at a minimum, this can get us the right card for the right time, but more often than not, I'm imagining while we're setting up, we'll just be getting a card out of our deck to thin our deck, but also just to get one card in hand, which is another resource. Not a bad ability text at all. Now, this is where things get awkward. We have a whole bunch of cards that say hero something on a hero action, hero response. None of these cards do anything. So we have a fair few blank cards in the deck. It looks like there's 6 straight up blank cards. That's unfortunate. We'll still use them as resources. We need a Shadow Field Commander, which is sort of blank. It mostly cares about playing multiplayer, but technically the text at the bottom. The bottom text here says Cyclops' upgrades that have the temporary keyword lose a temporary keyword when you attach them to minions. We'll talk about that in a second, but this is pretty niche, but technically is one of the few Cyclops cards that we can play that might do something. But these are our tactics. They all have this keyword temporary, which was new from Cyclops' kit. It means the turn that this is played, they last the entire round and then they're discarded. So they only last for one turn. Now we have 2 copies of Practice Defense. This card is entirely useless. It gives the attached enemy -1 attack, which just won't matter as much as it does have 2 energy icons. And we're going to have to keep that in mind because we do actually care about the right resources at the right time. Next up is Exploit Weakness. We have 2 copies. It's technically temporary, cost 1. And whatever we attach it to until the end of that round, when this gets discarded, that enemy takes an additional damage for every attack they take. This actually is pretty relevant. We have a lot of minions and each minion will be doing 2 or 3 attacks. So this can add up to be an extra 3 or 4 damage around. That's not that bad. Finally, we have Priority Target. This is usually the easiest one to play, cost 0. You attach it generally to a minion, and if you defeat that minion, technically you can attach it to a villain as well. You draw 2 cards, which is not bad at all. We've added 1 tactic to our deck. There's a couple in Justice that you can play. We're playing Sting Operation. We just need as many cards as possible that can deal with minions, that can deal with threat while we're in Alter Ego, and this one lines up. After a non-elite minion schemes, we discard this to discard that minion. This scenario has 4 big minions or 5 big minions. 4 of them are non-elite. So dealing 7 health, 6 health of a minion, as long as they thwart, that's not too bad. So we'll try that out. Now, this is the start of the show. It's all our allies, and we have a lot of them. We can play allies from every aspect, so we are. Firstly, we have Phoenix. Her ability text is not that good because a lot of our cards don't do anything. When we play her, we can choose a Cyclops card in our discard pile and add it to our hand. That functionally kind of makes her a 2-cost ally, which she has pretty good stats for a 2-cost ally. But most of our cards, they don't really do anything, so not the highlight of this deck. Now, aggression. We have some really good aggression allies. We're going to be in Alter Ego the whole game, so we really value Confuse. So Psylocke comes in and she can confuse twice while also doing damage at the same time. And she has really good numbers as well. 3 health, 2 thwart, not bad at all, but the double confuse is fantastic. We also have Aggression Wolverine, which is the most damage. And because we're not restricted by ally slots, he can stay on the table forever, just constantly healing as long as we manage that. I do want to say having unlimited ally slots is really interesting when it comes to deck building, because a big value of allies when it comes to Marvel Champions is that you can block attacks with them. So somebody who comes in with 2 health that has a good ability when they enter play, they thwart for 1, then they block an attack, is still very good. So a lot of the cheaper allies don't make a lot of sense. We actually really care for big health numbers because we want to keep these allies healthy and activate multiple times because they do not have the ability to chump block, which that's a really good part of allies. Now, Justice, we have a couple great options, some expensive stuff. We have both Dazzler, and we'll play just about any card that says the word confuse on it that doesn't say the word hero on it, so Dazzler will confuse when she comes in. And we have Husk, who's also really great, expensive, but she can go infinite. We can heal her, we can ready her over and over again as long as we're spending the right resources and having our ability to search for a tactic of which all the different types show up. That might make sure that we have the right card at the right time. Leadership is strange, and I do want to say the first time I built this deck, I thought this would be a leadership deck really quickly. What's unfortunate is a lot of the best leadership cards that make so much sense for this deck really care about getting into hero mode to some extent. Like Uncanny X-Men is so obvious for this deck, but we cannot make ourselves X-Men traded in alter ego unless we jump up to our hero side. I do want to say this weekly one-shot did not say you can't go to hero mode. This is something we're doing, but we ended up here on Justice because it just has the most ways to mitigate threat and confuse and do all that good stuff while staying down in alter ego. That being said, the good leadership allies, we have Beast. Beast is great, comes in and grabs a resource from our deck. Our deck only has a single resource, but functionally that makes Beast kind of a 2-cost card when he brings a resource back to hand. And we have Gentle, just so that we can hit pretty hard. Ideally, Gentle only hits minions. I'm not 100% sold on this slot. I also want to say this deck is about 46 cards. It's over the minimum deck size. And I did that intentionally just because we have a lot of dead cards. And so like making sure on average our playable card per card is somewhere closer to 40, as opposed to just having, 6 dead cards and 40 felt bad. 6 dead cards and 46. Maybe that's a bit more reasonable. We'll see how good Gentle is. Now, protection. There's some really good protection X-Men allies. The problem is almost all of them care about toughness, and toughness doesn't really matter that much because we're not going to be attacked, which is one of the big reasons why toughness is good. As much as you could say it's technically healing for allies, so there's some value to that. We're only playing Karma. When you play Karma, she takes control of a minion and makes it an ally. There are, again, 4 big non-elite minions in the set. What's really weird with Karma is if she kind of claims a minion and you draw a card that says that minion activates, that minion still activates on your side of the table and hurts you, or more accurately thwarts against you, which is very weird. I had to look at that ruling, but if Karma can functionally knock out a 6 health minion and take control of it, that's very good for 4 costs, but she might not see a lot of play. Then we have basics. We have some cool basics here. Again, Confuse is so important, so we're playing Prof X. We can even ready an ally if we want to, but Confuse is where it's at. Triage, we're not going to heal ourselves. Mind you, we have 10 health, 3 recovery. We didn't mention that because it's very hard for us to take damage in this scenario, but Triage will heal other X-Men to keep them in the fight. Again, unlimited ally slots. And finally, we have Beak, who in theory can just totally pop off. We have unlimited X-Men slots. When Beak comes in, we can thwart for like 7. That'd be kind of sick. Hopefully that lines up really well and is relatively cheap. That's all our allies. I think we only have 10. Which honestly might be on the low side, but the cool thing is with Justice, we have a lot of ways to give forward progression on the table that don't require only exclusively allies. So we'll see if we have to add more allies. This is our first shot at it, but other cards we're playing and reasons why Justice looks great. Beat Cop. Arguably a bit anti-thematic. We have 3 copies of this. We exhaust them a turn to take a threat off of a scheme. Doesn't have to be the main scheme. And then we can dump the damage into a minion when a big minion shows up. There's some really big minions. There's a 9 health minion if Mystique shows up, so B-Cop's really great. But again, our output per turn will grow gradually as we set up. If we have 2 of these on the table and 1 ally, we're probably keeping the main scheme in check. So B-Cop, a bit expensive, but quite nice. We have Foiled. Foiled is like such an undersung card. It is perfect for what we're doing now. It's kind of a really cool card. It's like pseudo confuse when you're in alter ego. It says interrupt, so you can play it in alter ego or in hero mode. When a boost card is turned face up during a scheme activation, cancels boost icons, which means we will know that the villain's only scheming for their printed thwart stat, which sometimes is 3 in the scenario, which is pretty bad. If it's 2, that's okay. So usually this card cancels 1 to 3 threat, which is exactly the sort of safety we need if we can't get that confused every single turn. I do believe one of the main schemes gives the villain steady, which that's going to be a total disaster if that shows up. This guy is also a very cool card. I don't know if we should play 2 of these. This is one of the few cards that an alter ego allows us to remove threat. I'm actually realizing in real time, I'm glad I read this over. The conditions to Xavier's final exam say only allies can thwart. So technically, it's not that our hero can't thwart. It's just allies can only do it. This is technically a thwart card. So yeah, we have to get rid of that. Whoops. I do want to say Beat Cop might pass that test. Let's just check really quickly. Because Beat Cop doesn't thwart. It just grabs threat. That is legally distinct from thwarting. So we're okay with that. Let's hopefully make sure that we're getting this correct. We have Counterintelligence, a really nice pocket safety card. So when threat would be placed on the main scheme, cancel 3 of that. That's a really good insurance policy. We have Prism Dust. It's nice. When a minion comes into play, it confuses and does 2 damage. Confuse is really important because there's no stuns inherently because we're never going to be in hero mode. So that's not bad. And Under Surveillance is one of the biggest reasons why we're playing Justice here. This adds 4 threat threshold to the main schemes. The main schemes have a threat threshold of 7, which is really, really low when we're stuck in alter ego all the time. We can scheme out easily in a single turn. So this jumps it up to 11, which is a big difference. So we're going to want to find this sooner than later. All right, we have some basic stuff, some really good supports here. Cerebro, we are all about the allies, so why not search the top 5? Or if we have a psionic character and we have a couple psionic allies, we can search a whole deck. That means we can always get the confused that we want to. We have to watch out for the deck cycle though. We have X-Mansion, which usually I used to heal myself, but here we'll just keep our allies healthy. We can just heal an X-Men character. All the characters are X-Men besides Scott Summers himself. Utopia makes a lot of sense in an ally heavy deck. However, we usually use this when we're playing to ready our hero. Here we'll just use it to ready another ally. So we can keep the allies going and make sure we're outputting enough thwart or enough attack every turn. And finally, we have Danger Room. Danger Room says when an ally enters play, an X-Men ally, we can go get a training upgrade from our deck or discard pile. And we're playing 3 copies of Mission Training. But +2 health goes pretty far because our allies can stay on the table for a very long time. And +1 thwart is nice. That's very cute. +2 health is probably one of the best parts of this. I'm worried about not putting out enough damage. There's a lot of damage you need to do in this scenario. You have to defeat 3 different villains. Then resources, a weird spot we're in. Resource generators, there's not that many you can play. I think the only one we can naturally play is Helicarrier because it doesn't care about hero text. Shout out to the X-Jet, which you need to be an X-Men, and there's no way to make us an X-Men if we don't go to hero mode. We're playing 3 copies of Meditation. I was so excited to also have our Disguise, so we have another way to use our alter ego, but this is the only way we're going to be using our alter ego, Exhausted, to play a card reducing its cost by 3. So these are better than Energy, Genius, and Strength, as long as you don't draw 2 in the same hand, which is a nightmare when you do. We're also running 1 copy of Energy. Why Energy? I thought it was thematic. This is the art we have. Yeah, it just seems nice. And we want at least 1 resource card so we can grab it with Beast. So Beast actually is a bit cheaper. But that's all our resource generators, and that's the entirety of our deck. I'm just going to do a really quick check to make sure Thwart and Attack doesn't show up on any of our other cards. Wait, I'm glad I checked here. So the rules say only allies can attack the villain or thwart the main scheme. So Prism Dust is fine. Not a thwart, we're fine. Okay, legal deck. Yeah, seems fine. And that is our deck. I think we're now at 45 cards. So a bit over deck size, but very important that we have more playable cards per card. We'll give this a shuffle and set up Mutant Genesis in 1 moment. This has always been on my bucket list to play an alter ego only hero. I think there's a couple heroes that this is naturally a game plan they can do. I think my first choice would probably be Black Widow, just because preparations, recurring them with your safe house, it's so powerful. Yeah, Cyclops was the most obviously thematic into Mansion Attack, so we're gonna give this one a shot as well. And we have a big card pool of allies, and hopefully with the different aspects, they can all pull in something we need. Aggression for damage. I almost played Tempest in the deck, and luckily I read it, because it says only play this if you're an X-Men trait, and we're unfortunately not an X-Men in alter ego. But yeah, this card would be really good. I also want to shout out Sunfire, who's very good for the scenario as well, because if there's attachments that make the villain scheme harder, except the only way to get rid of them is jumping into hero mode, Sunfire can get rid of them. However, there are no attachments like that in this exact scenario. Otherwise, Sunfire is an easy shoe-in. I just don't think I like 2 health allies that much in this sort of setup, in where we have unlimited board space. All right, let's give this a cut. And let's set it up. So we're playing. This is Mansion Attack. I know people really like this scenario. It's interesting. It puts a lot of pressure on you really quickly, it seems. We're playing totally stock standard. We're playing on Expert with standard 3, but we're playing with the Brotherhood and Mystique. So Mansion Attack is mostly treacheries and side schemes, but that's okay because the minions are coming from Brotherhood that brings the same named minions as the villains. And then we have Mystique set, which has some cards that shuffle into your deck that do nasty things, and Mystique herself, who has 9 health, and she'll be thwarting for probably around 2, depending on what villain we have. Now we have a bunch of setup here. It says put Save the School into play. This is an environment. It has rules text on it. We'll talk about that in a second. Then we have to shuffle all the copies of Main Scheme 2A and put them in a random order. These all have the same back. The fronts are different. So we're going to shuffle these. These are different main schemes, and we're allowed to lose one of them. They each represent a different part of the mansion we are protecting. There's a lot of variance in these. Some of them give +1 attack to all characters. That's just really good for us. The ones that give the villain steady or all characters steady, that's terrible for us. The one gives the villain retaliate, it's also really bad for us. And the other one gives toughness. So we have to hope that we get a good one here. At worst, we can see 2 of these. We'll never see all of them because we lose after the second one goes. So that's shuffled. Now we have to shuffle the villains together. So these are going to be in order. We have to defeat 3 of them on Expert. So whenever we defeat one, we just go on to the next one, which means the order of these is also secret. So I have to kind of stare up at the ceiling and shuffle these because we're not meant to know the order. Okay. Top is Avalanche. That's totally fine. The one we're really scared of is Toad, but Avalanche, I think we can deal with that. This is Avalanche. We have 18 health toughness. Victory 2 doesn't really matter too much. Force response after Avalanche attacks you, exhaust an ally you control. This is really good for us. Again, that 4 attack is pretty intimidating, but we probably can never get attacked in this entire scenario. because we're going to stay in alter ego. Now, the last part of Brotherhood Strikes, we just have to flip it over to do this other side, which I think just gives you an encounter card. So this says deal each player an encounter card. We've already shuffled this. I'll give it a quick shuffle. Advance to the next main scheme, whatever it is. And that's it. This is added to the victory display. And just so you see the text on Save the School, anytime a main scheme is added to the victory display, it gets 1 counter. When this hits 3 counters, we lose the game. So you already start with 1 counter for free. And then we get 1 encounter card here, and that'll be waiting for us. So whatever this is. Okay, we'll flip this over. That's an okay one. That's the middle case. This is the basketball court. Now, these all have the same threat threshold, so they get one per turn, and when it hits 7, we advance to the next one. If we lose the next one, we lose, again, if there are 3 main schemes in the victory display. And it says allies, minions, all come in with toughness, which we have Wolverine, who has piercing, but our allies coming with toughness basically gets them another activation. We don't get the free block because we're never going to be attacked, but otherwise that's not too bad. Just to go over the Save the School really quickly, and just gives us a reminder text that we need to defeat 3 villains because we're playing on expert. That's what the rules booklet says. And when we defeat a villain, the next villain comes into play in its spot. And if there's a minion with the same title, we discard the minion and the villain activates against us, just so there's not like 2 toads on the table, for instance. And that's it. I think we're all set up. We'll just cut. We'll go for a mulligan. We are, again, Scott Summers. We'll only be Scott Summers. And we have the ability to grab a card out of our deck. We have 7 tactics, but hopefully let's get that confused, because if Avalanche schemes for 2 and gets a 3 boost, we're putting 6 threat a turn, 1 automatic, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have to keep this at 0 all the time if we don't have it confused. And that's, or we can count on foiled, I guess, but let's hope for the best. Gentle, okay. Technically an ally, and any ally is good. Not our favorite ally because he doesn't hit hard into Avalanche. We have no minions yet. This is a blank card. I'm not going to be showing you the text on the blank cards. Just trust me. They say hero something on them, so we can't use them. So it's just not a card we're going to keep. Wolverine is amazing. This is one of the best cards we could ask for because everyone has toughness and Wolverine has piercing. So that's probably where we're going to go for 4 cost. The best other thing we could draw here is a cheap 1 cost support. I don't actually think we have any. We could want to draw our double, but the best thing is if we can want to draw meditation. Prism Dust. Oh, we do have a nice 1 coster. So technically this is an attack, but it only hits minions, so we're allowed to do it. I'm assuming we're keeping this because if we have a 6 card hand, we can do Wolverine plus Prism Dust, grabbing a card from Scott Summers. Expansion, very valuable card. We might hold on to it. It's only playable if we have a double instead of Prism Dust. Blank card, and that is 6. So we're definitely not keeping these 3. The question is, do we hold on to Prism Dust or do we draw deeper to find a meditation? Meditation is really quite good because it gets Wolverine for 2 cards out of our hand. So we draw 3 more. On average, 4 plays Wolverine, 1 card from us plays Prism Dust. We lose Expansion for the cycle. I think that's okay. Prism Dust is not the most important. Actually, I think we're just going to discard Prism Dust because we're not going to play it. No, we are going to play it. There's not that many 1 costers in our deck. I think we're going to hold on to it so we have something to play alongside Wolverine. Cool. That's it. We'll get Exploit Weakness. So anytime we draw a tactic, we need to keep track of that because that's 1 less tactic in our deck. So this card's not going to do anything on turn 1. Second tactic, Priority Target, feels bad. Each of these technically have text, but some more so gives us another resource. And we have Sting Operation. So we managed to draw 3 tactics on turn 1. We have only 4 more in our deck, and that really matters because with Alter Ego, that's +1 card. So I think we're going to keep it simple. 1, 2, 3, 4. Full Wolverine. Issues, we don't have it confused. So we might have to use Wolverine to thwart 1 off this so that we don't lose to a 3 boost unless we draw foiled. Wolverine comes in with 4 health, 3 attack, and heals, and comes in with the toughness. Because all characters come in with toughnesses because of the basketball court. Then we're just going to use Scott Summers' ability to search our deck. We're going to get, I don't think it really matters which one we get. We're going to try and get the tactic that doesn't do anything, this -1 attack one. Technically, it's an energy icon, so maybe it matters for Husk. I'm not 100% sure. And then we'll just pitch this, play Prism Dust. And that's it. I think for safety, if we don't want to lose the basketball court, we have to, unfortunately, thwart for 1 here on basketball court, which isn't amazing. But that's the only thing we can do here. So Wolverine will thwart for 1, losing the toughness to consequential, and keep this in check. So we might still lose the main scheme if Avalanche activates twice. I think there's 4 cards in the deck that says Avalanche activates again, which will be, for our case, 2 schemes in a row, which is terrifying. That's it. We'll draw up. B-Cop, that's good. Expensive. Foiled. Okay, so now we actually can possibly beat double activation. Counterintelligence, another nice setup card. Danger Room for our... I should show some of these cards, mind you. Foiled is really good. Because if we draw a big boost, we can just cancel it. We'll see what our hand is, but if that removes 3 threat for 0, that's not too bad. Counterintelligence just says, when you're going to add threat, don't. If we don't draw an ally, this might hit the table. Meditation is perfect because that's a free beat cop at a minimum. And then lastly, we have a mission training, which yes, we could attach that to our healing Wolverine. Kind of weird, but you could do it. And we still have tactics in our deck to give us 1 hand size. So I think this is totally playable. All right, this goes to 1. Avalanche activates, going to scheme for 2 and a card. 1, 2, 3. That's only 3 threat. So if we want a foiled here, we do remove only 1 threat. This thing only has 1 boost on it. There's a set of these for each one of the 4 villains that give an additional boost card if they line up with the name. So this is only for 3. So I don't think we're going to use our foiled. I think we have to plan this out. We're going to do meditation into Beat Cop. We'll do probably play Danger Room and then mission training on Wolverine. So I think we're going to keep our hand. So this will add 3 threat to the main scheme. Yeah, we'll still have some issues, but this is going to go up to 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 encounter cards. Infiltration. Okay, not good. Hate to see a Mystique on any cards usually. When revealed, shuffle this card into your deck and gain Surge. I'll do that in a second because we might have to shuffle again. Yep, shuffle this card into the deck and gain Surge. Great. These cards, when you draw them, discard an ally or support you control. So that's really frightening. Hopefully we get some cheap supports. And we have Blob. So we also have a big guy to worry about. Now, in theory, we can Prism Dust here. Blob has 6 health, guard, and toughness because all characters have toughness. And Blob only schemes for 1, so not the worst. This is where we fire Prism Dust, which actually buys us a while because I don't think we're going to be able to knock out Blob this turn. So after a minion enters play, discard this, confuse the minion, and then deal 2 damage. So unfortunately, the toughness does block all that damage, but that's okay. We'll just shuffle this in. They have different card backs, so not much you can do about it. We'll just kind of do a cut while looking straight ahead into the camera. Cut. Okay. Cool. It's back to us. Wolverine's text, in theory, would fire here. Doesn't matter. After your turn begins, heal 1 damage, he's at full health. So I think we just do what we think we're going to do, which is we'll play meditation. So we exhaust ourselves, not that that matters, and we'll get down a single Beat Cop. We'll exhaust Beat Cop, remove 1 threat, or move 1 threat from a scheme to here. So this goes down to 3. This goes to 1. This is a problem because we just cannot get that down enough. We could consider holding onto the foiled, which I think we have to, because that means this will go to 4, 5, 6, and whatever the boost card is, we'll cancel it. So I think we have to hold onto the foiled. The other options, we play counterintelligence. That might be better because this uses our hand a bit better. This prevents 3 threat. So this will go to 4 if Avalanche schemes for 5, 6, 7. Actually, this doesn't do it because this only removes 3 threat. If Avalanche, this goes to 4. Wolverine could do a bit more. Like we can mission training Wolverine to give him 2 threat, to give him 2 thwart. He could thwart this down to 1. Then this goes to 2. And then Avalanche could scheme for all the way up to 5. If we remove 3 of it, it goes to 3. Counterintelligence might be a bit better here. And we just don't play Danger Room. We still have, I think, 8 allies in the deck. So Danger Room is definitely worth something. We just lost Gentle. These decisions are really hard. When we aren't able to play events or build upgrades that do damage on the table, we have to play our hand perfectly and we have to build our allies as soon as possible. So this is probably somewhere in the middle of how our start should be. So no matter what, we're mission training Wolverine, I'm pretty sure, unless we think we have to hold on to foiled. So we're going to use Scott Summers' ability to go grab whatever tactic and thin our deck out. I'll just grab, I wouldn't say the first tactic we find, but I want to try and find the -1 attack one. Oh, infiltrations, love to see it. Okay, shuffle, have to cut, looking at the camera. Great. So we'll spend this to give Wolverine mission training. So Wolverine gets +2 hit points. He's up to a healthy 6. We might have to discard them if we have no supports. He also gets +1 thwart. So as soon as a character has buffed stats, I'm going to mark them with these bigger die. So it's 3 attack, 2 thwart. Cool. Trained. So then for us, it's either play Danger Room or play Counterintelligence. I guess we have to play Counterintelligence now because we played that, I'm realizing in hindsight. Yeah, so we can't hold on to the foiled. So we'll spend 2 for Counterintelligence. It prevents 3 of the threat to be placed, which we'll probably have to use here. That means Wolverine actually is going to thwart for 2 off of this. Fortunately, Blob will stay. Hopefully we get another ally so we can knock out Blob because Blob is only scheming for 1, so maybe not the worst. We'll pass. We'll drop 6. Again, drawing 6 every turn is good, but also means we'll find a Mystique card sooner than later. Second to Beat Cop, Cerebro to search our deck. Beak is here. Beak at a minimum can do 3 thwart, if I'm not mistaken. We have a blank, mostly blank card. Second meditation is perfect because that lines up with the second Beat Cop. So we just want Phoenix, also really good. And that's 6 cards. That's a good hand. We can deal with that for sure. So this goes to 2. Avalanche schemes for 2 and a card. 1, 2, 3, 4. So here, well, we don't lose, but I mean, we have this. We might as well use it, I'm pretty sure. We're going to prevent 3 of that threat being placed. So this only goes up to 3. And Blob is confused. So that's good. Exhaustion's not the worst card. It's ugly when you draw it on a turn that you have meditation in your hand. This is one of the expert cards. It just says exhaust you surge, which is less bad when you're in alter ego. Under siege. Okay, we have a lot of threat to deal with. When revealed, place 3 threat on here for each Brotherhood of Mutants character. So there's 2 Avalanche and Blob. So this goes to 6 and has an acceleration. So this turn, what we mostly have to do is threat work. So threat work we will do. Okay, it's back to us. We have Beat Cop. It's probably right to build another Beat Cop, but actually maybe it's better to build Phoenix. So we play Phoenix. We can go search our discard pile for any card that is a Cyclops card. That won't really matter too much. I think we just have to do everything for thwarting. Mind you, Wolverine heals 1 at the start of turn. All these cards are kind of interchangeable. They're just 1 resource, so I don't think that matters. That leaves us with this hand. We could probably here, I think we go get something so we can play Cerebro, because Cerebro is really good. And then we play Beak, and Beak will remove 3 + 1 thwart, so 5 thwart. That's probably the turn, I think. I think that's the turn. So this is Field Commander, which in theory means we could attach an attachment to Blob and it wouldn't have temporary, which means it doesn't discard at the end of the round. There's some value in that for sure. So no matter what, I think we're playing Phoenix. So we'll Scott Summers for Phoenix with Meditation. We'll exhaust player, reducing the cost by 3, and we can go get a card from the bin. I don't think it matters what card it is. It just has to be one of our cards. So we'll go get, are we defeating Blob to draw 2 cards? Attacks for 3, 4, 5. No, I think we have way more thwarting to do. So we'll just grab any card. 3 health, thwarts for 2, attacks for 2. Not bad. Okay. So I think we have to play Beak. Beak is just a lot. Just a lot of value. So we'll do 1, 2 for Beak. After you play Beak from your hand, remove 1 threat from a scheme for each X-Men ally you control. We control 3 X-Men allies, so we'll clear this. That's good. That's the one that matters. Beak's stats aren't amazing, but we'll use them the best we can. And I think we'll just play Cerebro here. We in theory could go +1 card. I'm not sure if it's right to go just thin a tactic out of our deck. My guess it's not. We'd want to have it in our deck for a turn when we need it. The issue is if we draw it, we unfortunately just draw like a blank card. Okay, so this can go up to 1. How many foils are out? I think 2. No, we still have 2 foils in our deck. I think actually for that reason, we want to thin our deck. So I'm going to use Scott Summers' ability just to thin our deck, because I think drawing a foil this turn is really important. I mean, it makes us more likely to draw into an infiltration, but at least we'll knock out Beak. So I'll go grab a tactic. Oh, we only have 1 more tactic in our deck. Okay, never mind. Then I won't do it. I should actually have a separate discard pile. You're technically not allowed to do that, but I should track how many tactics are in the deck. I think we have 7. We have 7 in our deck, and I think 6 are out now then. All right, cut. Shouldn't have looked at that. That's fine. Okay, we'll use B-Cop to steal one of these. Fine. We're not going to use Cerebro now. In theory, we could use Cerebro now to thin the deck. Actually, we should, because if we find an ally, we'll just keep it in our hand. So we'll use Cerebro. We can search our whole deck, actually, because Phoenix is psionic. Oh, does that change anything? Don't think it does. No, I don't think it does. I think we want to draw into a foiled more than anything. Wolverine. So sorry, Phoenix will thwart for 2 for sure. Beak will thwart for 1 for this. Now, we probably need to clear this, because otherwise this goes to 2, 3 for Blob, Avalanche is 4, 5, and then with the 2 boost we advance. So unfortunately we're going to leave Blob, but I think Wolverine's going to thwart for 2, clearing the acceleration icon, taking 1 damage. All right, we are slowly building up our board state. Hopefully we're going to get there, and we'll just pass. Triage for some healing. Dazzler, that's perfect. We are missing some Confuse, as much as Cerebro now can get us any Confuse card we want. Speaking of Confuse, there's Prof X. Mission Training. We might play it. There's our energy. Our last card is foiled. Perfect draw. Okay, so we got a bit fortunate there, because now there's very few ways that we can thread out. This goes to 1. Avalanche schemes for 2 in a card. We're looking for a big boost here. 2 boost. We'll foil that. The foil just cancels it. So this goes to 3, and then 4 with Blob. We draw 1 encounter card. Groundswell, that's bad. Okay, so now we're kind of cooked unless we draw 0 boost. If Avalanche activates against you, so Avalanche schemes for 2 in a card. Oh, mind you, these shouldn't take damage. They have toughness on them. Yeah, they come in with toughness, so they should be at full health. Excuse me. The consequential knocks out the toughness. Unfortunately, Avalanche is going to scheme here for 2 in a card, so we need 0 boost. 3 boost. All right. We lose the basketball court. Unfortunate. We had no way to stop that. We kind of got close. We just needed a better Confuse there. So we lose the basketball court. So this goes to 2. And now we have to hope that this is one of the 3 good ones. It could give us all +1 attack, which we love. That's fantastic. If it gives steady to Avalanche, that's bad. If it gives retaliate, it's also not great, because our minions will flatline to that pretty consistently. So we got the best one. Okay, that's sick. We got really, really lucky here. And I think we need to. The steady one's awful. So each character gets +1 attack. Same 1 threat threshold. Eventually, we're going to attach our under surveillance to make that 11 threat. You see how bad it is when you're stuck in alter ego the whole time. But we'll take that. I'm just going to try and remember that we all have +1 attack by putting this aura on the table. That's good. This will help us knock out Blob. Okay, that means we can just use B-Cop to clear this out without stressing anything. We're going to want to confuse Avalanche, and we're going to want to knock out Blob. So we should be able to do that relatively easily. We can spend 4 cards on Dazzler. We can go up 2 more cards here. I think we knock out Blob as well. So I'm going to use Cerebro. And at the same time I'm using Cerebro, actually, I'm not going to use Cerebro first. I'm going to use Scott Summers first. And I'm going to search our deck for a tactic. This doesn't exhaust us. I just need to know if there's another tactic in our deck. I think we have the tactic that draws 2 cards when we knock out Blob. And I think we'll get that one. Yes, that's the only one we have left. No, we also have exploited weakness. Okay, so there's 2 ones we have left. Exploit weakness does an extra damage, which means I don't think it's gonna be concerned because our allies can't really do much here with no threat on the main scheme. So we're just gonna do damage. Okay. So attach priority target to blob. Now when we defeat blob, we draw 2 cards. So we want to do good sequencing here. I think we want to play Dazzler over anything. So we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4. It's Dazzler. When she comes in, we can confuse. Someone will confuse Avalanche. Again, everyone has +1 attack. I don't have enough red die to like physically show the +1 attack on them. So we're gonna have to remember it's this. And now we want to knock out blob. And with that, we can go grab a 2-cost minion, I think. I don't think we have any 2-cost minions. Hopefully we draw like a nice support. So that means Dazzler will attack for 3, taking 1 consequential. Phoenix will attack for 3, taking 1 consequential, knocking out blob. We draw 2 cards for priority target. We get foiled, and oh, that's coming up, and ricochet beam. So all we can do here is attach the mission training to someone, and we'll discard the rest of the hand. With Cerebro, we actually can go get a 3-cost minion. I think we have 3-cost minions in our deck. So that might be better. Yeah, I think we just go search for a 3-cost X-Men ally. So we can search our whole deck because Phoenix is psionic. So let's see if we have something in here. Do we not? We don't. Everything we have is 4-cost or higher. Damn, all our things left are expensive. So we have to, right? I guess we have to take something out of the deck. I'll just take Karma out of the deck. I don't know if we want to draw her. Actually, we probably do. I can't fail this search, unfortunately. Psylocke is really, really good. Beast is not bad. Karma is good. I'll just take out Karma. I think with the +1 attack, we might not need Karma's text anywhere near as much. So Karma's in her hand. She's the one who can control people. And we have unlimited ally slots if this looks strange. Next, we'll attack for Wolverine, who attacks for 4 with piercing. So taking out the toughness, Avalanche, we're doing some damage. Beak, we might as well just do the damage because we want Beak back in the deck. So Beak will attack for 2. And then who do we want to buff with mission training? I think we'll buff, I don't think it really matters. We'll give it to Phoenix. So she gets +2 health. She gets +1 thwart. Her attack stays the same. So again, none of these die are showing the buffed attack because I can't show everyone. But she's 3 thwart now, which could help. And then I don't think we're going to keep either of these cards. We'll pass. All right, it's very likely we'll have something bad with Steak showing up in a second. I think you draw the cards one at a time. So I think it replaces itself. I'm going to Google search when it shows up. So we have Utopia, which is nice. We draw this card. We have 2 of these in our deck. It's Infiltration. It says, after this card enters your hand, I think you draw cards one at a time. Discard an ally or support. I'm just going to discard Beak, who's the least valuable. And then you discard this at the end of the player phase like any other card. Oh, so it does count for a hand size. Okay, that's good to know. 3, we have Exploit Weakness. That's our last tactic. 4, we have Husk. 5 is Full Blast. And 6, we have the other Infiltration. So our hand doesn't do much. Hopefully we can fix this with Cerebro. So I think we're going to have to keep Cerebro so we can go get a 4-cost card. Do we have 4 resources? Yeah, we exactly do. So none of these have like resource icons on them, so we can't pitch them. So we have to discard either a support, which would be a loaded Beat Cop, or a Cerebro. I think we're going to have to get Psylocke with Cerebro, so I'm discarding Dazzler. Great. Not great. Not the worst. It's the villain. This goes to 1. Avalanche is confused. Draw a counter card. Protect the students. Oh, I think this one has good text on it. So it comes in with 4 threat. When defeated, the player defeats this, searches their deck, and discard pile for an ally and adds it to their hand. That's not that bad. All right, we have a Crisis, which means we cannot remove that. So I guess we have to do this first. Wolverine heals for 1, and that's us. So that means Beat Cop plus Phoenix can do that. So that's not too bad. So Phoenix is our psionic, which is nice. So we can use Cerebro and search our whole deck. Not that we have that many cards left. So I think we will. We'll Cerebro and we'll search our whole deck. So we can get Psylocke, which I think is our only confused card left. And that leaves us with Under Surveillance coming up. We have no more foiled. We have no more tactics. So might be a bit sketchy for this one turn. We have to get a bit lucky. Because again, if this completes, we lose the game. And we still have a bunch of damage to do. Okay. So Psylocke's in her hand. We'll pitch 1, 2, 3, 4 for Psylocke. Psylocke is definitely going to be attacking because that's how you get confused. She comes in with 2 of these counters. Anytime she attacks, you can remove a counter to do 1 damage and confuse. So she'll attack, taking 1 consequential. So she attacks for 1, 2, plus a 3rd damage, plus a confuse. So the villain goes down to 9. Again, we have to defeat 3 different villains. That's Cerebro. Okay. Beat Cop. We'll grab this. Our hand is just some treacheries. So that means to be entirely safe, Phoenix. Oh, she gets a card, right? So Phoenix clears Protect the Students. So we can go get an ally and add it to our hand. I mean, I guess we get like, I don't know if it matters who we get here. Is there anybody we really want? I guess Dazzler. Like, I think we just want to always have access to Confuse. So I think I'm just going to go get Dazzler from the bin. I think anyone from the bin is a better get here because we're about to deck out. So Beak is a lot of threat, but I think Dazzler is just kind of perfect. So I'm going to go get Dazzler. Husk is also not bad, but Confuse is super important. We'll just keep her in our hand. And just to be fully safe, because we could still threat out because we haven't had it under surveillance, Wolverine is going to thwart for 2, taking 1 consequential, dropping us. And we'll pass. So now we can discard these 2 infiltrations. We'll hold on to Dazzler and we'll draw 5 more. Under surveillance. Oh my God, we need that. Any later would be much worse. So +4 threat threshold helps a heck of a lot. Beast is here. Last beat cop. We have a mission training and we have a blank ruby quartz visor. That means our obligation doesn't matter. I think our obligation messes with our visor. This goes to 1. Oh, actually, we were confused. We didn't have to attack this. We could have attacked with Wolverine into face. That would have been better. That's fine. Playing safe. This confused goes. We draw 1 encounter card. Nowhere is safe. So we have to discard an upgrade. I think that's pretty easy. So we place 1 pursuit counter. If you're not familiar with standard 3, once this hits 4 pursuit counter when you're playing solo, we go grab our nemesis set and a whole bunch of cards add pursuit counters on the boosts or the text. Now we have to discard an upgrade. I think I'm just going to discard Phoenix's upgrade. We'll just get rid of this mission training. I think it's the least impactful. And we'll pass. And back to us, more accurately. Wolverine heals for 1. Okay. We want to get our allies back into the discard pile. Unfortunately, Psylocke won't get back into the discard pile anywhere fast enough unless we can ready her somehow, which I don't think we can. We can have... There's no more allies left in our deck. So yeah, Cerebro doesn't do anything. In fact, we have Meditation and 2 blank cards. We can't do anything with those. But B-Cop does the B-Cop thing. So that's good. Here, it's probably play Dazzler. If we play Beast, we spend 1, 2, 3, 4 on Beast. Beast gets back a double. No, that doesn't work. Actually, maybe we don't play Dazzler. Maybe we hold on to Dazzler. I think holding cards is not the worst in this scenario. But I think we want to hold Dazzler because I think the most important card in our hand is under surveillance. Issues we're 1 card short of playing Beast and getting the double back. Unless we throw out Dazzler. Which actually, maybe with Cerebro, that was fine. Maybe we should go Triage. Like something cheap to play here. Because it might make more sense that we play Beast to get Beast on the table. We throw out 4 cards. These 4 cards. We get back a double from Beast and then Beast puts it under surveillance. I don't mind that. I was going to say we have to keep Phoenix around because she's psionic, but also Psylocke is psionic. So then next turn we can Cerebro to guarantee get Dazzler back. This is the hard part, is that if you don't get your minions to hit your discard pile because you can't block with them, there is no way for us to get Psylocke in the bin this turn because we have unlimited ally slots. It's not like we can play too many allies and then she has to get discarded. All right, so we will play Beast. We'll do 1, 2, 3, 4. When Beast enters play, we can search our deck and discard pile for a resource. We only have 1 resource in this deck just for Beast. It's an energy. And then we'll spend the energy to attach under surveillance. Just the goat card. This card scales so well in solo. So +4 threat value. I'm just going to tuck it underneath. So now we have to hit 11 to lose. And lose is very accurate. Beast is coming in now. 3 health. 3 attack technically. 2 thwart. And I think we start sending damage. So Psylocke has to attack. So she takes 1 consequential. She removes this counter, does 3 damage to the villain. There's a chance that we want to... Oh, we actually... No, hold on. We have to plan this out. Because if we're going to advance the villain, we want to advance with Psylocke as the last attack so we confuse the next villain. So I think we do that. Let's unwind this. We won't attack with Psylocke yet. So villain recovers 3. The better order would be attacking with Phoenix for 3. Because everything has +1 attack. I guess we waste some. Beast will attack for 3. When Psylocke attacks an enemy, remove 1 psionic counter. And then Wolverine will attack for 4. Taking 2 consequential, defeating Avalanche. And now we reveal the next villain behind it, and whoever that is, that's our problem going into this. So just to check, Save the School says, otherwise, so we're going to get another encounter card. That's kind of scary. And then reveal the next villain. So we get an encounter card. We defeat Avalanche and we get Blob. I think Blob is fine. So Blob, 19 health. We don't care about his text too much. 19 health and toughness. Force response after Blob attacks and damages a character. Still schemes for 2. So we don't mind this text at all. But we did defeat our first villain. I think we'll just try to remember. I won't put a die here about how many villains we've defeated. We've defeated 1 so far. But we have to defeat 2 more to win the game. Now we'll attack with Psylocke. So Psylocke's psionic attack first takes off the toughness. Then she hits for 3. Sorry, for 2. And then she'll confuse Blob. Okay, 2 encounter cards is a bit scary, but I think having this at 7 is good. The issues we haven't drawn into any of the dark designs, which are the advanced equivalent for standard 3. So that is the scary thing. But we are going to deck out here. Actually, this is a bad time to do it because I'm realizing we're decking out. We're drawing 3 encounter cards. So we might have wanted to time that a bit better. It's back to us. We draw 3 cards. Okay, Meditation's nice. That's good. And we have to shuffle this and get another encounter card. We're looking for foiled for safety. Foiled would be really nice. And then hopefully Psylocke stays around so we can go search our deck for Dazzler. Psylocke missing the rotation is actually pretty bad. So we have Dazzler and we have Prof X as our 2 last thwart cards. This Courtyard, we got really, really lucky. Like I cannot emphasize that enough. Retaliate's pretty bad. Steady is by far the worst because if we can't consistently confuse, we're kind of cooked. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, mission training, 5, beak. That's not bad. 6th, triage, so some healing. So unfortunately, we didn't get any, what's it called? Any foiled. It might not matter because Blob is confused, but we're drawing a lot of encounter cards. And there's still a couple dark designs. Okay, so this goes to 1. Blob is confused. We draw 3 encounter cards. Start with the oldest one. The Brotherhood, okay, we have some threat work to do. That's nice that we drew beak. So the Brotherhood comes in with 5 threat and a hazard icon, and it says that Brotherhood minions have quick strike. Obviously doesn't matter. They don't attack us. Pyromaniac, okay, this is going to grab Pyro. So every villain has a card like this that says either they activate or if they're not there, you go search for them. So we're going to grab Pyro. Pyro attacks for 0. That doesn't matter, but schemes for 2. Has 4 health. I think maybe he's tied for the smallest one in terms of health, but we're going to have to deal with Pyro. Wolverine does one-shot him in theory. And last card, Hopping Mad. Okay, so we're not done finding folks. So maybe this is a karma angle. Same thing, but instead of grabbing Pyro, we're going to have to grab Toad. I think Toad might have 3 health. 3 health, nice. All right, Toad also schemes for 2. After Toad attacks and damages, we don't care about that text. And remind you, they all have quick strike. So that would have been a brutal turn if we were in hero mode. I don't think this is a beat cop angle. At any point in time, if we're like not in a good spot, we can just dunk 5 damage. But I think we're going to look at our hand to see what we have here. Because I think we can play 2 allies. And each of the allies having +1 attack goes pretty hard. And we also can go get a tactic because we've reset all our tactics. And the tactic does 1 damage or draws 2 cards. All of those are really quite good. Okay. It's back to us. Wolf heals 1. Wolverine. Beak and Triage are playable. Psylocke doesn't do anything. And we can Cerebro to search our whole deck. I think we need to get Dazzler. Guaranteed we need to get Dazzler to get the Confuse. These things need to get knocked out. We could grab Karma. If we grab Karma, we can grab Toad or Pyro. That is really efficient. The issue, again, I had to look this up. We have 2 copies of Pyromaniac in the bin. That's actually really important because if you draw Pyromaniac while Karma controls Pyro, he still activates against you from your side of the table. Really weird ruling, but it does work like that. So with 2 Pyromaniacs in the bin, grabbing Karma to take Pyro actually makes a fair bit of sense. And maybe we can do enough without the Confuse. Because Karma functionally deals 4 damage and thwarts for 2, which is a lot. Then Wolverine can one-shot Toad. We can draw 2 cards if we get our tactic. I actually kind of like that a lot. We won't have a Confuse this round, but with 11th threat, I think we're in an okay spot. The only problem is if Blob schemes for 5, we get another 5 boosts. Like we'd have to get 2, 3 boosts and a dark designs, which seems pretty buck wild. All right, don't worry. We see the bigger picture from behind the desk. We'll use Cerebro and we'll search our deck for a mutant. It's Karma. She's on the bottom of the deck. And while we're here, we're going to use our alter ego ability to search for a tactic. We're going to grab the tactic that when defeating something, we draw 2 cards. Cool. Priority target. Awesome. Have a lot of triggers here. +1 attack. So good. Okay, so good. All right, so we're going to attach priority target to Toad. We're going to play Meditation to reduce the cost, exhausting ourselves by 3. And then we'll just pitch a garbage card that doesn't do anything, and we'll play Karma. When you play Karma, and mind you, she has 1 attack, so she's a bit more useful. We can pick a non-elite minion. We take control of them. They become an ally, so Pyro's now ours. Its text box is blank, and it thwarts taking 2 consequential, so its scheme becomes a thwart. So now, welcome to Friendly Pyro, who now thwarts for 2. Cool. Has +1 attack, technically. Sick. Then, we actually don't have to use Wolverine on Blob. It is overkill. So I'm going to actually use Beast to attack for 2 +1 is 3, which defeats Toad. When we defeat Toad, priority target pops off. We draw 2 cards. 1, 2. Okay, we have a pocket foiled we may hold on to. Phoenix is okay. Do we need healing? Who are we going to be healing? I don't think we're going to be healing anyone. We need to clear this off. So that's easy. So we use Psylocke to thwart for 2 off of this. Actually, hold on. Do we just play Beak? Beak is such overkill, but I think we'd rather attack for 2 with Psylocke. Like, we just need to keep pushing damage because every time that we draw encounter cards, it's very frightening. So I think we do it. I think we do 1, 2 for Beak. What does that leave us with? These cards, which are not super playable. So we could keep Triage instead and just heal Beast, I guess. I don't think we need any of these. Holding onto the foil is actually pretty good. So maybe we'll just play Mission Target. We also could play Phoenix to draw a card, but I think Beak is just so much better. So we'll pitch 2. We'll play our Beaky boy. When Beak comes in, remove threat from an S scheme equal to X-Men allies you control. We have a couple. One, not an X-Men. 2, 3, 4, 5. So that clears the Brotherhood. Perfect. Yeah, that's easy. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that's great. Sick. We'll just use B-Cop here to clear this off. And then I think everyone's going to attack for damage. So I guess Pyro is kind of useless. Maybe we should have grabbed Toad instead. That would have changed who we attacked with Beast. So we can't fix that. But yeah, 2 Pyromaniacs are out. So we're happy. Also, if we lose Karma, we lose Karma, we lose control of Pyro. All right, Beak will attack for 2 into the villain. Psylocke will attack for 2 into the villain. It's defeated. Wolverine will attack for 4 into the villain. Nice. And I'm going to give Beast some mission training. I think we're going to run out of red dice soon. So mission training gets +2 health, +1 thwart. So thwarts for 3. Technically attacks for 4, but the die only says 3. Aura. Pyro can attack for 1. I don't think we want to do that. I'd rather scheme twice for 2. Because he's not a real threat. There is also a card that says if Pyro's in play, but I think you just take indirect damage, which, like, who cares? And we'll hold on to foiled for safety. The more I play foiled, the more I like it. It is just such a cool card if you want to jump down in solo. All right, 1, 2 gentles here. Okay, so there's still, I think, a couple big minions we can draw into. The second beat cop, I guess. Exploit weakness, they take extra damage. That actually might be good to advance blob to go into the final stage. I do think we want to build up enough minions that if we go into the final stage and it's like, heaven forbid, Toad, who schemes for 3, we just destroy Toad in a single turn. And there's a big chance with exploit weakness we can do that. We just have to build up a slightly bigger board state. Meditation is great. That's a free gentle or free beat cop. And then lastly, we have another beat cop. So this is probably double beat cop, but actually double beat cop might be useless. So we'll find out. This goes to 1. We didn't go for the confused, and Cerebral might be able to get something here. So the villain is going to scheme for 2 in a card. We can cancel the boost. 2 boost, we'll cancel 2 boost. Meditation, so this only goes to 3. Oh, sorry, I don't know why I said meditation. Foiled. Cool. 1 encounter card. Hopping mad. Okay, so we're just going to get Toad back. Toad activates against you if he's not in play. Search for him. He's back, and he's angrier than ever. It's Toad. 3 health. I don't know if we have the upgrade that draws us 2 cards. That might be fine. Do we have any left? I think here we're going to go for the confuse angle. So yeah, we do. So at the same time, I'm going to search for the draw 2 cards card, and we're going to Cerebro to look for, I think Dazzler's our last confuse we have. So we'll search for both of those. Dazzler, priority target. Okay. Okay. Mind you, Wolverine heals. We might not use Wolverine this turn. We do need to keep him healthy. Otherwise he will knock out when he attacks. And his toughness is really good when we advance the stage. Okay. We'll do meditation plus gentle. Play Dazzler. I'm out of red dice. This is bound to happen considering unlimited allies. So I'm just going to put a 3 health on her. Sorry, this is a smaller die, but what can we do? Let's try and justify these a bit better. All right, we'll B-cop this down because we can. It's 7. Okay, Pyro will thwart for 2, taking 2 consequential, clearing this. We will attach priority target. That means who can attack for 3 damage? Dazzler can attack for 1, 2, +1, taking 1 consequential, knocking out the Toad. We draw 2. We draw blank card. Counterintelligence, not the worst card. Be happy to have that in our pocket. I just want to make sure. Sometimes, okay, no, we're clean. Okay, 9 damage. Beast attacks for, oh, Beast's numbers should be a 2 attack. Excuse me. That's 3 attack. I said the wrong thing when I set it up as well. So he's 3 thwart, 3 attack, but it only shows 2 attack. Yeah, this is not confusing. All right, so with this hand, exploit weakness only lasts a turn, so it's not that good. Another beat cop doesn't do anything. So my guess is we just play counterintelligence and we hold on to exploit weakness. That sounds a bit silly. If there's another exploit weakness in the deck, we can get it guaranteed. There is, so we won't hold on to it. We're definitely going to play counterintelligence, just so we have a safety plan. Mind you, when Dazzler entered play, Blob was confused. And then I think we're just going to send some amount of damage. So Beast will attack for 3 to the villain. Beak will attack for 2, succumbing to consequential damage. We'll wait for Wolverine so we can attack next turn and not get defeated. And I think that's all we have. We'll pass. We're in a good spot. I won't hold on to either of these cards because they don't really matter. And we can always get another copy of Exploit Weakness, which actually really does, or really might matter next turn. We can advance with maybe attacking with Beast plus something else. And then Wolverine will take off the toughness. And we might have enough damage to end the game. Let's hope. Nice. Foiled. 2 foils. Okay, we probably can't play them. The villain's confused. Practice defense doesn't matter. Mission training probably doesn't matter. +2 health on Wolverine maybe matters. A blank card, and this is the dreaded, entirely functionally blank hand. We do have Cerebro to go get somebody. I'm not sure who that person is. We have a couple cards left, so maybe we'll find something. This goes to 1. Blob is confused. We draw one encounter card. Protect the students. Oh, this is sick. This means we can go get somebody we want. So maybe we can get Psylocke back before we cycle the deck. So it comes in with 4 threat and has a crisis. So we have to clear this first. And when we do clear it, we can go grab an ally from our deck or discard pile and it's back to us. Okay, we have to do some math here. So the big thing is we can search our deck and we can use Scott Summers to go grab a tactic. The tactic we want is the one that we're going to attach to the next villain that says they get +1 damage from every source they take, which means Dazzler attacks for 4, Pyro attacks for like 2, Karma attacks for 2, Beast for 3, Wolverine for like 5. That's a lot of damage, but we still have to do 4 damage here. So we always beat cop this, but 3 is a good break point. Let's just change that out while we can. And I'm going to use Cerebro at the same time. We're going to search our deck with Scott Summers. We have a Psionic with Karma, so we can search a whole deck. So we can grab one ally, which we might not have any. But we have Prof and Husk. Okay, Husk is good. Prof clears Protect the Students, which is not bad. And then this is the one that says they do +1 damage. Husk, however, attacks. Husk can attack for a lot if we have extra resource cards. Prof can ready someone, so Prof could like, oh, Wolverine heals. That means Wolverine can attack twice. Is Husk going to do more damage than double Wolverine? What's the math here? So we play 3 per Prof. Prof enters play. We attack with Wolverine, advancing perfectly. Then we attack again with Wolverine, dropping the next villain down probably to like 15. Then we can do 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It'll be close, but we'll have Prof. So I guess we won't have it confused. I think we just try and send it. I think we're in striking distance with the counterintelligence that we're just going to send it. So instead of grabbing Husk, we're going to search our deck for Prof. Because I think the ready on Prof is actually going to be a bit better. We haven't drawn a Utopia yet. That also would have been really good at this point. But yeah, and with Protect the Students, we can go grab another ally. I don't know if there's an ally that really matters here. Like Triage could matter in theory, but I think we're going to lose Wolverine no matter what. Okay. So next, we're going to use Wolverine. He's going to take 2 consequential and he attacks for 1, 2, 3, +1 on the table, which is 4. That defeats Blob. So Blob takes 4 damage and we go on to our final villain. We have Pyro. Okay. No Toad. I mean, that feels good. So we just have to knock out Pyro. Has 17 health, so probably with striking distance. Toad might have been a bit weaker. Toughness, we knew that was coming. Mind you, Wolverine's exhausted. Yeah, after Pyro attacks you. They all have on attack clauses, so that doesn't really matter for us. Okay, so then we're going to do 1, 2, 3 for the Professor. We might not have enough damage. We'll figure out the math here. So after Professor X enters play, we can confuse a villain, stun a minion, or ready an X-Men. We'll ready Wolverine. Mind you, technically Professor X can attack for what can be 2 damage this turn, which really matters. So all we have in our hand is a way to give +2 health to somebody. That doesn't really matter. None of these cards are playable besides Exploit Weakness, which is super playable. We're always going to attach Exploit Weakness to Pyro. So now Pyro takes 1 increased damage from every attack. So is there an ally we can put in with 2 resources if Professor X, instead of doing 2 damage, does this? And will that ally do more than 2 damage? The only 2 cost allies we have are Triage, which attacks for 2, and Beak, which attacks for 2. So we can just do it. And it clears threat. Yeah, that's fine, I think. We only have 2 cost allies, right? Just Triage and Beak. I don't think we're playing anything else cheap. I think most of our allies cost more, yeah. Okay, so instead of doing the 2 damage to Pyro, Prof X is going to thwart 3. I'll protect the students. When this is cleared, we can search our deck and discard pile for an ally. I think we're just going to get Triage, just so that we can get some healing. We're going to play Triage for 2 cards. We're running out of bases, so I'll put Triage on the back line. Triage has 2 health. When Triage enters play, heal 2 damage from an X-Men character. So I'm just going to heal Wolverine up, so Wolverine's not knocked out. And then we're just going to attack with everybody. First with Wolverine. Wolverine will take 2 consequential, has piercing. So it's attacking for printed 1, 2, 3 +4, so toughness +4 damage. Okay. We're going to keep attacking. Beast for 3. For 4? Wait. We missed the damage, didn't we? Yeah, this is not 4 damage. It's 3 +1 +1. So that's a bit more damage. Then Beast attacks, taking a consequential. That's 2 printed attack, +1 attack from the courtyard, +1 attack from Exploit Weakness, taking 4. Then Pyro will attack, taking, how many consequential? What does Karma say? Takes 2 consequential after thwarts or attacks. Okay, so Pyro is going to attack, attacks for 0. However, it's going to have +1 attack and +1 attack, so it's going to take 2 and gets knocked out. Just swap these. Now Dazzler's going to attack for 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we have it. And then finally, I don't think Karma has ever won a scenario by attacking. We're going to attack with Karma. Karma has +1 attack and then increase the amount of damage each enemy takes from each attack by 1. So that's going to do 2 damage. Knocking out Pyro. Hey, we did it. Alter ego only. Super possible, actually. And we had more to go, I guess. We could have done more damage. I think with the Justice cards, with foiled, with counterintelligence, we were actually able to hold on, which is nice. Cerebro gave us the control. I was totally expecting us to get down X Mansion and like just keep healing people and keeping them in the fight. But we did get there. Big burst damage. And again, when you set up an army like this with exploit weakness, that is definitely the tactic you want for this board state. Super cool. Glad we gave that a shot. Maybe we definitely made it a bit harder for ourselves, but if you want to check this out, these are the weekly one-shots. They're posted on socials. I think I saw that repost on Reddit, but this is Xavier's final exam. So there's a lot of other ways to do this. I was also thinking of doing this maybe with Maria Hill and then just sitting in alter ego and sending in all your big ships, which I think is probably quite possible as well. That's mostly it. Thanks so much for watching. If you're new to this channel, welcome. If you want to take a second to leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, all that sort of stuff really helps us grow. We're streaming Sundays. This upcoming Sunday will be Sunday evening, but it's usually Sunday mornings or Sunday evenings on YouTube. So if you want to hit that notify button, you'll know when we go live. Otherwise, thanks again for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Ciao.